we find him? Looks like he has a 35. So it should be a close race. So coming out, you're going to notice the main form of movement in the run. This is bunny hopping or bee. If you're familiar with how this works, essentially, as soon as you hit the ground, you jump again. And doing that lets you maintain all the speed that you build up from previous hops. And if you keep on hopping and build up speed by doing what's called air strafing, that's moving your mouse in a certain way while holding A or D. You can build up speed in the air and then preserve that speed by jumping as soon as you touch the ground, and that's essentially what bee hopping is. Looks like Hazza's having some internet issues. We'll see if we can move over to Pero's audio, because his is clean. Or his stream looks cleaner. Okay, if there's no sound coming through Pero's, we'll keep it on Hazza's. Alright, this is looking good so far. Coming into Portal Gun, this is one of the harder maps to move through, as you'll see in the part that Pero's coming up to, where this next section is just really hard to move through, and it gets through very cleanly. The timers are a bit messed up, as you guys can see, currently. It is being fixed. You can see Hazza's is still on the top. So you'll see on the left side of the screen. This is because they're using the in-game timers as opposed to an external timer like LiveSplit. Or I say like LiveSplit, who would be using anything that's not LiveSplit in current year.
You have trapped yourself. Congratulations. The exit door is now
coming through smooth jazz. You saw that Pero just clipped a cube through the door. Essentially, if you touch a cube at the edge of a portal and then move it through a surface like a door or a window, it can just kind of pass through because the game's not sure whether it's passing through a door or actually a solid surface or a portal. So it can kind of just go through. It's very strange. It lets you get the cube into a room that it's supposed to be in, and it's supposed to allow the cube in there, and then open the door because it's a soft lock basically. If it didn't open the door. Coming through, they did a couple tricks there, and on the previous map. We'll explain them later when they do them some more. Coming up is a button glitch though. This is a glitch where you jump on the button for one tick and then you leave the button the next. And what this does is this will force the button to stay on, even though you're not actually on it. This only works for certain buttons in this game. There's about 2 that are actually useful in this run. Discord notifications popping up on the stream. This is looking good so far, boys. I can't recrop the timer because I'm not a speed gaming person. I'm just a commentator. Yeah. Moving their way through. I have no idea what's going on in Hazza's screen. I can see 1 frame every 20. I assume that's the same coming up on Twitch. It should be. Pero is super clean. So just going to be focusing on what's happening on his screen for the moment. For those who aren't aware what the speedrun mod is, it's essentially a mod that removes all or most cutscenes and wait time during the run. So if there's ever a point in the run where there's cutscene or in a lot of elevators you're supposed to wait for the dialogue, a lot of things like this have just been removed from the run completely, which means that even if there's something that you would do to skip a cutscene normally, it's just not in the run completely anymore. So you generally won't go for any of those cutscene skips.
Be careful not to trip over any parts of me that didn't get completed.
It's really weird that Hazza's audio is super clean, but his video is just not. Do you have audio on Pero? No. Okay. Alright, we're gonna be stuck with this then. Moving their way through incinerators. You saw there that Pero was shooting a portal while he was standing in a portal, and he kept on getting boosted out of a portal. That's because the game doesn't want you standing on top of portals while you're shooting other portals. So it gives you a bit of speed there. That'll become utilized later on. It's called a reportal. Keep that in mind for later. You can still stand on portals, but you have to tap the other direction as you shoot the other portal. It's a little bit precise, not too difficult, but it's something that's utilized a few times during the run, a couple times earlier on.
So now we'll both get to see how they work. There should be well done test results. You are a horrible person. That's what it says. A horrible. Don't let that horrible person thing discourage you. It's just a data point.
Making his way into Jewel Laser now, Pero.
Science has now validated your birth mother's
So
decision.
you'll see that he didn't actually. There are 2 laser receptacles that need to be triggered on that map, and he only actually triggered 1. The reason that that works is because there's a brief overlap in the time where when you move a portal, or not when you move a portal, there's a window where the laser won't actually be touching a receptacle, but it'll still be activated from when it was touching. So by just abusing that time, you can trigger the door to open, and then if you're holding up against the door as it starts to open, it'll open fully no matter what. You also just saw you do a reportal. That's a strat called Wetmaker, a very, very difficult strat, where you throw a cube and then do a reportal across that gap. It's very hard to do. So very quick though. Looks like Hazza's a bit stuck on Laser over Goo. He's made it through eventually. Para has taken the lead by, I think, a reasonable margin. In case you guys don't know, this game is timed in in-game time, which means that it's time without loads. So we will see some kind of discrepancy between the 2 players' times, most likely. And that's what that's from.
It was part of an initiative to investigate how well test
Yeah, but Pero has taken pretty much a full map lead by this point, so he's in a very good position. Start probably like a 30-second lead. Messes up once, trying to get that jump across onto the button. It can be a little bit difficult to do. At the time when you shoot the portal there, it can be somewhat precise.
Well, have fun soaring through the air without a care in the world.
Because you need to be like,
entirely of glass and pick up 15 acres of broken glass.
you just can't shoot it immediately, you can't shoot it too late. She just got a bit of a window that you need to be careful.
Oh, sorry. I'm still
Coming to pit planes, Pero, maybe going for the triple reportal. I mentioned what reportals were earlier, and he's done some before. This is basically just using reportals to get high and get up top of the map. Oh, that's an interesting backup. So that was a use of. Let's not worry about it. Let's worry about that later, actually. I'm curious to see. Looks like Hazza's also doing triple reportal. Okay, I was curious to see whether he's going to do the stuck launch. Not the stuck launch, the super reportal. But it looks like we might not be seeing any super reportals this run.
Every test chamber is equipped with an emancipation grill at its exit, so that test subjects.
Sorry, just making his way through. A lot of these levels you can kind of just go through by abusing level geometry and shooting portals, but the game didn't think you'd be able to.
This next test involves emancipation grills. Remember, I told you about them in the last test area that did not have one.
Oh, Para tried to make his way over that glass with the quarter nut, losing a tiny bit of time. Then. Obviously nothing huge. Going for a reportal to get up to the top there. Motorplace decided to go for a jump across instead. Don't do the reportal, but it's a little bit faster to do the reportal. I have no idea what strats he went for. Because I can't see. Coming up to Ricochet, this is probably one of the harder maps in the early game of this run. You'll see he's going to be going for a precise strat. This is called panel fling. Basically, the laser there triggers the platform to go down and up. So if you get the cube to hit the laser and pull the platform down, or the thing down, the panel down, and then go through as the panel's going back up, grab the cube. You can bring the cube through and slide yourself up the panel while it's at like a 45-degree angle or something, and make it straight to the end of the level and skip the entire puzzle. Commit to bridge intro. Just a B-hop map, basically. Just use the light bridges to get to the cube. I believe he's going to be doing another, when I mentioned on Smooth Jazz, that you can sometimes push cubes through glass or doors. You can see that you are able to push it through that glass as well as door earlier.
On the surface, if you rubbed your cheek on one, it would be like standing outside with the sun. Shining on your face. It would also set your hair on fire, so don't actually do it.
Pero on Bridge the Gap is going to be going for another reportal here, and this is a little bit precise. It can be quite a difficult strat to do.
And these tests are
Essentially what he's going for is a reportal and then B-hop off this little platform in the middle that he's standing on, and grab the cube while he's flying over, and allow him to get to the end of the level like that. And it's a little bit faster than bringing the bridge over. For maintaining a pretty comfortable, I think, lead over Hazza. It's hard to see still, but I think he's got a decent lead.
Structure.
He's on target intro now. Yeah. Nothing too special about that method. Fast portals and avoiding dying.
Well done. In fact, you did so well. I'm going to note this on your file in the commendation section. This next test involves turrets. You remember them, right?
There's another instance of laser switch glitch. I talked about that on Jewel Laser. Basically the same thing there. You switch a laser from one receptacle to another, and it opens the door. Yeah, we can't see what's going on at Hazza screen. We're just going to focus on Para. A race against himself. It looks like he's still got a good lead. Yeah, wait, that's a really significant lead now. Yeah, so the in-game time is synced pretty much, as you can see, by comparing the timer at the top versus the left on Para. So if you can see the left of the screen, it says 1040. So it's a little bit out of sync from Hazza, but pretty close.
That jumpsuit you're wearing looks stupid.
Yeah. Oh, that's neat. Damn. See a Pero there just tossing the cube onto the button through the portal. Not something you see many players go for at all.
Well, what does a neck-bearded old engineer know about fashion? He probably... Oh, wait. I'm going through the list of test subjects in cryogenic storage. I have a surprise waiting for you after this next test. Telling you would spoil the surprise. So I'll just give you a hint. It involves meeting two people you haven't seen in a long time.
I didn't see what happened, but I think Pero messed up. I had to look away for a brief moment. Yeah, looks like Pero died, I think, on Column Blocker here. Column Blocker can be a hard map. I don't know what happened, but looks like he's fine this time.
I bet you think I forgot about
There would be a decent opportunity if Hazza to catch up. I don't know. Oh, is that what happened last time? Did he go for that free portal and didn't get the bridge in time? He makes it this time. Looks like Hazza's got a lot of catch up. Just he's right behind him now, probably only 20-30 seconds behind.
Surprise. Oh, come on. If it makes you feel any better, they abandoned you at birth.
Ooh, her flinging across with the second cube, or what most people grab as the second cube. First, before going back to the one that most people grab first. This is a little bit faster. But a decent amount harder, so most people decide not to do it. Ooh, he's also dropping the cube. Damn. Doesn't quite get it to work though. Unfortunate for him, but it sometimes happens when you go for these riskier, harder strats.
Comedy equals tragedy plus time.
And he's struggling to make the jump around as well.
For a while, so I guess it's actually pretty funny when you do the math.
Sometimes the cube in this game, when you drop them, they just like shake a bit. And it makes it really hard to judge if they're actually going to stay where you place them, or if they're going to move a bit to make it so the laser doesn't line up to where you want it. And Perry just got unlucky there. On a triple laser for Pero.
Dilemma, and I came up with a solution that I honestly think.
Another instance of laser switch glitch there, that time with 3 receptacles and using a cube. Pro still got a fair bit of a lead over Hazza, pretty much a full map, pretty much 20-25 seconds. And just didn't land the portals across. Loses a bit of time because he has to hop over Hero's Posters being over there instantly, but Not a huge deal for Pero. Oh, Hazza had some kind of issue.
With tragic consequences and real tragic consequences.
Pero just making his way to the end of Jailbreak and into Escape. There's a few pretty movement-intensive maps that are all about these movements and these like tight little corridors here. Just coming. Yeah, so it's pretty much nothing too much to talk about.
The irony. Here it is. Why don't you just do it?
Hazza had a lot of issues on Jailbreak by the sounds. Can't tell by looking, but it sounds like he's reloading a lot, or at least a few times. Made his way through onto Escape now. Yeah. He's probably close to a minute behind Pero at this point. It's a pretty significant disadvantage.
You're okay? I heard this way, this way. Go, 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 go.
Pero making his way through Tart Factory. You can see that this map is relatively dark. I think it's a bit brighter in Speedrun mode than it is in normal game. I'm pretty sure at least. So yeah, that's another one of the changes. We have a command allowed in Portal 2 that allows you to increase the brightness. I don't know if we're going to be seeing it from either of these players, but some monitors can't actually like display this map at all because it's just like too dark, so you just can't see anything. Normally you have to go through with Wheatley's light, and he moves across very slowly, and we actually skip him completely in the normal run. So it was important for people who didn't have monitors to be allowed to have that command on. Looks like Haz is using it. Yeah. So you can see the screen. I think he's using it. I don't know. It's really hard to tell when I can't see continuous movement. He might not be. Actually, I don't know. Yeah, if you guys are curious about Pero's timer, by the way, you can just look at the left side of the screen. I mentioned this at least once before, but you can see it right now on the left. It says 16:11, 16:12.
I'll tell you, humans, oh, love them, just the way they look. It's great.
Looks like Pero's actually going to be going for, okay, he's going to be going for Nintendo. A lot of people go for a seam shot through the door here. This is only a tiny bit slower than that, I believe.
Turret redemption lines are not rides. Please exit the turret.
Her making his way through the end of Tart Sabotage now. The movement on that little bit in there can be really difficult. There's a lot of desks and things you have to avoid, and some surfaces that aren't so smooth, so you can get kind of... When you jump off an angled surface in this game, you kind of get boosted in the direction of the surface. So it can be a little bit hard sometimes.
Is there any sort of announcement?
Pero is finishing up neurotoxin sabotage, cutting all the tubes. Making his way through to the end. It has completely stopped. I don't know whether his still going on his end, but looks like it's completely stopped for us now. Oh no, we just got another frame, I think. Is it the same one? I just looked away and got lost. No, okay, we are progressing. We are progressing.
To apply some cleverness. There's our...
Pero making his way through core. This map's normally very long and has a lot of cutscene and wait time in between it. And this is one of the maps where it's most, I guess, easily noticeable, the difference between normal game and speedrun mod. There are also two maps before and after this, that are completely skipped because they have pure cutscene. Like there's literally no inputs you do in those maps. Parent making his way through underground. You'll see right about now he's going to be coming up to a long shot. Basically, there's a portal surface on the other side of the map, so he's just going to try and line up and shoot a portal right across to be able to get to the other side of the map a lot quicker. On to Cave Johnson, who is this is one of the harder maps. Probably like it's like the first hard map in the underground section, which is filled with these really difficult maps. First thing you're going to be seeing is a shot across onto a wall that you can't even see. You need to jump across the goo to get that, or you can do a precise line, whichever you prefer. And then it's coming up to a reportal and a scripted momentum. I haven't talked about this yet, but scripted momentum is there are certain flings you do in this game where you won't always have enough speed to make the fling, even if you do it the way that it's intended. So the game makes sure that you have the speed to make the fling by just giving you the speed. You can artificially get that speed or get that momentum boost up to that speed if you if you go into the portals a certain way. So there, he gets that script momentum and does a re-portal on top of that to make enough speed for him to fling on top of the pipe and make his way to the end of the level and skipping another room. Pero, I don't know what cube flip he's going for here. So, yeah, okay. He didn't know either. There are two cube flips you can go for there, where if you have the player and the cube inside a portal at the same time, you can cause weird physics interactions where you can boost the player through a ceiling, through a floor, through a wall. There are two ones that are on there, one to get you through the floor and one to get you through the ceiling. He shot the portal in the middle, so ended up just giving up on it as he went through the portal to see what went wrong and deciding to progress normally. Making his way through palm flings. I don't know what Hazza is. Looks like he's on... What map's that? I can't tell by that frame. Can't tell by that frame either. Okay, he's on some map. Crazy Box for Pero, whose in-game timer has now progressed to be about 40 seconds ahead of Hazza's. And he's shooting his portals. Trying to get the shot up top here. Normally... yeah. And then he's breaking the glass here. When you crouch in this game, in the air, there's a brief period of time where your head will be extended 2 units higher than its normal standing head height, or your hitbox will be. You can do that to clip your hitbox inside that big glass square there, and once it detects that that's inside, it breaks the glass completely, and that allows you to just grab the cube a lot faster than spraying it with gel or whatever you'd do normally. And then he... there's a strat where you turn off what's called portal funneling. That's the mechanic where the game has where you funnel yourself into a portal, where the game pulls towards a portal that's on the ground when you're flinging. You turn that off, and that allows you to strafe around to... Oh, Pero has accidentally loaded a bad save. Let's see what's happening. Okay, loaded back to an auto save, and he goes... Loses a bit of time to that, but nothing big. Yeah. And that's how we got up the elevator there a lot faster. Through potato, and he's just going to fling himself across the end of the level. There's a tiny little seam you can shoot through on that surface. That's right at the end of the level, and Pero shoots there, and then goes for a re-portal to make it across this gap. And that allows him to basically skip the entire level there on prop intro. Looks like we finally have sound on Hazza again. Do we have Pero sound? Oh wait, no, we don't. Okay, I figured I'd check. I think it's worth checking occasionally to see if we can get it. Pero here is lining up. Basically, what you do there, or what happens there is, because it's an angled surface with blue gel on it, as you fall down onto that surface and then you jump, you get all the height and velocity you get from jumping on blue gel, but you're still moving into the surface, so you can jump again, and that lets you just basically build up a bunch of speed and play across the entire map there. And then you just slide across the surface.
Yes, sir, Mr. Johnson.
Pero, I didn't see if he shut the portal. I think he's just going through normally. Yeah, he's going through normally. There is another strat for this map. I don't think you can see either play going for it, though it's pretty rare to see it. Or at least so far. It's a pretty new strat. Anyway, moving his way through conversion intro, just trying to shoot his way. Trying to shoot his portals. Going for a re-portal, get up top. And he's making it work. Yeah, looks like the timers are basically synced up now, but Hazza is very, very far behind. He's... How many maps was that? I can't even count. One? Most of one? That's how many? It's hard to count that high for me, okay? Yeah, give me a break on that one. Couldn't remember the ordering of the maps. On to 3 gels for Pero. And he's just shooting his portals, making his way out. He's gonna be going for what's called a stuck launch. Basically, if you're between oh, he's going for old stuck launch. Okay, when you're between certain angled surfaces and like a pipe here, you can kind of get yourself stuck, but you'll still be falling. This game keeps on building up speed for you because it knows that you're falling, and then you let yourself out of the stuck, so you completely just fall down with like a ton of speed, and then you bounce yourself up with blue gel and allow yourself to get to the very high heights. The only time that it's used in this run. And then Pero goes over and does tube bounce here. This blue gel tube is bouncy, like the blue gel, because it is. And sometimes you just have to accept things. So you can kind of just bounce up off that blue gel. And Pero's on his way to Chapter 8, while Haz is just entering 3 gel and going for the stuck launch of his own. Can't see it because I can't see enough frames to piece together what's actually happening. He's doing the new setup, or the current setup, or the setup that most people use. Pero moving his way through. Through tests. Tossing the cube onto the button to save a little bit of time. So it's just going from place a bit. And making his way up to the top. The end of test is just, I don't know, looks like Haz is having some issues with the tube bounce, unfortunately. Pero is making his way through test pretty cleanly, just press the button again, then make his way to the exit. Normally there's a bit of waiting there, the dialogue, but obviously in speedrun mode, that's not a thing. And I'm coming into funnel intro, and this is going to introduce probably the biggest glitch in this run. This is called crouch fly glitch. Basically, when you crouch in a funnel, or when you stand in a funnel, whenever you change whether you're standing or crouching in a funnel, you get yourself, if you're at 0 velocity at the edge of a funnel, you get yourself in what's called crouch fly, where you can leave the funnel, and you'll still have like funnel properties. You'll still be floating around with 0 gravity. Once you do that, you can preserve it through maps by just going into the elevator if you don't change your crouch state on the map that you're on. So if you don't crouch or uncrouch. After that, there's no need to worry about whether you're crouching or uncrouching anymore, because that only removes the glitch if you're on the map that you got it. So now you can see that Pero is just floating around in the air. He can only change his height by abusing physics collisions, like he just did there with the cube, where he pushes himself down. Walking on the ground, up or down angled surfaces, because when you're walking, you're just walking. You're not actually floating. Or jumping and hitting his head on ceilings, or pushing himself off angled surfaces downwards. He's not effectively no-clipped because he can't clip through objects. He has to worry about all physical objects still. But in terms of being able to fly around and everything, basically. Except that the movement in this is the air strafing, like his normal B-hop. Ooh! Pero accidentally boosts himself up the door, getting himself stuck there. He has to reload because otherwise he'd be soft-locked, losing him a fair bit of time because his save is back here when he's first grabbed the cube. There we go. He's able to get himself on the ground this time so he doesn't have to worry about that. And just makes his way through the door and into the elevator. So I mentioned that you can't change your crouch state anymore by crouching or uncrouching. So he has to get rid of this glitch right now because otherwise on the next map he can't solve it easily. He can't solve it quickly with it. So he just touches a funnel and that'll completely get rid of the glitch. That's just how you get rid of it if you're not on the map where you got it. So you'll be seeing that on this map, he won't have crouch fly at all. And I'll just be continuing along B-hopping like he was in the game before Chapter 8. You will see a different glitch here where he shoots onto this graded surface here. You can kind of just shoot on that surface because you can. Yeah. You can just shoot on grades if you shoot at very precise angles. So you'll see he doesn't line up portals, make sure that he shoots it pretty precisely. Even then he messes up a fair few times because it's not an easy portal to hit, even if you know exactly what you need to be shooting for. He grabs the cube and makes his way to the end of the level. And he's essentially 2 maps ahead of Hazza now. So a really significant amount. I want to say like a minute and a half maybe. Like a very large amount though. Yeah, maybe a minute. A bit over maybe. And he still doesn't crash that, of course, because he got rid of it earlier. And he makes his way through Stop the Box, placing the cube on the button, and then hopping his way across to the end of the level. Normally you're supposed to like stop that cube with a bridge, but if you fling at the right time, you can catch it and then just your way to the end of the level.
Oh, sorry. Hope that didn't disturb you too much then. It was the sound of books. Pages being turned. So
onto Laser Catapult, he wants to get back CFG or Crash Glitch or Funnel Fly here.
just finish the last one.
Because he really wants it. Or I guess it's not too important anymore, but yeah, he wants it for the next map. It makes the game a lot easier.
Don't mind me, just moving the old test chamber a little bit closer to me. I'd have thought maybe
I think technically it's not faster to have Crouch Fly coming into Laser Platform anymore. It's a lot faster in normal game, but you'll see at the end in love why it's not faster in the Speedrun mod necessarily. I think if you do it perfectly. But the strat to do it perfectly is very hard. Or to do it faster is very hard. So yeah, you'll see here, this funnel is normally very slow. It travels at normal funnel speed, but in Speedrun mode is boosted up to be very quick because it counts as a cutscene, so crazy how the developer wanted to make it faster. And Pero makes his way through to the end of the level there by just flinging off the side and basically slipping straight to the end of the level. You try to scream at black, there's a trigger that makes your screen do that before you die normally. But he just didn't touch the death trigger, he only touched that trigger, so he just couldn't see, but he knows the movements to be able to get through the level, to the end of the level. There, Pero, ooh, goes too far to the left and bonks on that. No, hold on, Clea bonks there, and isn't able to make it. This is another example of a trick where you have portal funneling turned off. If you have portal funneling on for that trick, you'll simply just fling basically directly upwards when you exit your portal. So you can't skip the to the end of the level.
To your left, you'll see some lights of some kind. Don't know what they do, but very sciencey.
Pero having some issues on this map. Notably, This is the last, or he's gonna crash light here. Never mind. I was about to say him this Nocturne. He gets crash light here, and he's just gonna get rid of it, I think. Or is he gonna take it? Does he have crouch fly? He's keeping crouch. No, wait, did he crouch? I didn't see. He might be keeping crouch fly. If he is, he's doing the normal full game route. No, okay, he's not. He did crouch. Yeah, okay. In the full game run, you want to keep crouch fly here. In speedrun mode, you don't, because this cutscene is sped up anyway. So you don't need to worry about getting crouch fly to skip it. And it's faster to just go through this cutscene than it is to crouch fly through it.
Only 3 more chambers to your big surprise.
There are a significant number of route changes made for speedrun mod. Just because a lot of things are slower in speedrun mode. Because there aren't cutscenes to worry about. Ooh, I think Pero still had funneling off there. I think he should have made that if he had funneling on. I think he still had funneling off from one of the earlier maps, and because of that, he went through the. Or no, I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't know what causes that. Why would he go low? I actually don't know what happened there. He might have just gone through the low part of the portal. I actually have no idea. Yeah, I think he just went through the low part of the portal, and that caused him issues.
No, hello. This is the part where I kill you.
Maybe he does have funneling off. Ooh, what was that? That was weird. I didn't see what froze him there.
Oh, just thinking back to the old times.
Ooh, I haven't seen that one before. I don't know though. It's I've never done that as a backup, or maybe once I've done it as a backup when I messed up. Something I'm familiar with. Maybe that is something that can happen. You can get stuck there. That is something that sounds like it could happen. Very much a Portal 2 thing to exist. There we go. Pero getting crouch fly and making his way down. You see, oh Jesus. He angles himself down here and makes his way onto this platform. I don't know what we're gonna see him go for here. I imagine Pero would go for the. No, he's doing it. I was gonna say I would imagine he's gonna actually just try and stay from one of the turrets. But instead he's gonna go back and do the safer strat, where you kind of just go around using the angled surfaces to get yourself up and down. Oh, I'm losing my voice. Do we need water left? I'm out of water and I'm losing my voice. We're in trouble. Through finale 3, Pero is going. Hazza just on finale 2. Probably 30-40 seconds behind Pero. Actually, a significant amount left because his time is not caught up to his. So I don't know. Yeah, this is actually pretty close. Looks like Pero still got a pretty comfortable enough lead to make a fair few mistakes in this final level finale 4 here, and be okay. But it's decently tight. S24. That's. Yeah, I can't tell how far behind he is. I can't with this lag, with this FPS drops. It's really hard to work this out. Terra on finale 4, just doing the Wheatley boss fight. He's making sure to shoot his portals so that bombs are fleeing through them from the first cycle and he can just keep them fleeing through his portals onto the second cycle. This is called bomb preserve. Basically means that you can then shoot one and it saves like I don't know, a few seconds doing that, because you don't have to wait for the bomb to fling from Wheatley to the portal. You can't throw it immediately. You can't just instantly throw the bomb at him because it won't work instantly, and if you do it too early, it'll cause something that we call bad ending, where Wheatley just keeps on firing bombs at you. It doesn't stop. And yeah, these cause a whole bunch of issues, basically. Then you'll see Hero shooting this portal rapidly against the surface that's fading away here. Ooh! What was that? What was He's not worrying about it. He's just going and doing.
A stalemate.
Um,
What? Are you still alive? You are just gone.
the normal strat. Normally, you want to shoot. Wait, is he losing? Did he wait? Did Hazza land early? Hazza might have won. I don't know. Hazza won by 1 second. No way. I think he did. Hazza won by 1 second. That's unbelievable. um. Wow. Okay. Just asking to see what the plan is from this point forward. That's unbelievable. So there, it's a very consistent strat to just keep on shooting at that white there, at the white surface, the gel. And if you shoot in the right spot repeatedly, your portal will appear on that white surface. If you do that, you save a solid few seconds, and it also enables you to go for another trick called early. Pero accidentally went through his own portal before his portal was stuck on the white surface. Basically, what that means is he had to shoot his portal on the roof where you need to shoot one, and then you need to go over to the actual portal surface that you're supposed to use, which loses a solid few seconds. So without that tiny mistake at the end of the run there, or the mistakes he made while he was flinging on the third core, he would have won that race. That's incredibly close. Okay, it looks like we are playing a best of 3 out here, so we'll mark Hazza as winner. I'll be back in 1 second. I need to grab some water. I can't continue talking without having something to drink here. Okay, and I'm back. So we're gonna be getting to the second race pretty soon. just waiting on Pero to get back. He's going to get some water as well. So as soon as he's back, we'll be getting into the second race, and then we'll be seeing if this goes to a third or if this wraps up 2-0. Both players that delivered runs were significantly worse than their PB. Just a lot of mistakes that we saw happening. Pero maintaining a comfortable lead for pretty much the entire run, and then just having issues right at the end. Really unfortunate, but we'll see how match 2 goes. So, for next race in series. We should be seeing them go pretty soon. Okay, you can also see Paris timer at the top now, as well as on the left side. Getting into it right about now. Okay, let's see if Hazza's team is any less laggy now. No, looks like it's the same. Alright, gonna be watching Pero again.
And emergency testing will begin in 3, 2, 1.
Jeez. Pero making its way through pretty cleanly. Bonking on the stairs there. That's something that can happen if you get a bad hop sequence.
Cube and button-based testing caused this emergency.
It's actually really hard to avoid getting that bonk. It's just something that kind of happens if you jump too early or too late or get too much weight or too little speed from where you want. Really annoying.
Simply experiencing a rare reaction in which
Well, it looks like he's having a pretty clean run on Portal Carousel. Hazza is also playing Portal 2.
Good. Because of the technical difficulties, your test environment.
Yeah, it looks like he's having a bit of trouble. Losing a fair bit of time, even just that early on.
Animal King, Sentient Cloud, or other governing
Making his way through Portal Gun.
Or is incapable of
Landing a good amount of speed off that slope surface into the water there. Making his way through nicely. We'll see. Ooh, excellent jumps into a desk there. Ooh, and bonking at the ceiling. Having a few minor mishaps, maybe able to make his way through. And, or end up the worst way. Hazza, I can hear his sounds, he's jumping, he's shooting portals. Looks like he did okay as well. Gained a bit of time on Pero, I think. Too smooth jazz. You'll see that Pero there just shoots a portal at the floor and then walks to the exit. As I mentioned with Laser Switch Glitch, in this game, when you shoot a portal, when a door is triggered to open at all, you can just hold against it and it'll open fully. So by shooting a portal down that pit, you get the cube to just fall through, and it'll probably touch the button at some point. Generally, you shoot it at a pretty consistent way, so it should land every time. And if you're just holding against the door, you'll be able to get through completely.
Please avoid unsheltered testing areas wherever a lack of shelter from space debris does not appear to be a deliberate.
Also make this way to cube momentum. This is a portal stand into dropping a cube through. You'll be seeing the exact same tricks that are using cube momentum right here, being a future starter.
This next test applies
just a portal stand into grabbing the cube, dropping it through.
Gotta help you.
Pero, most people here will go for this setup once, where they just jump on the button, and then they'll try and do a actual setup based on the visual cue. Pero just seems to go for the just jumping on it every time. So, yeah. It's definitely a more like old school way of doing it. I don't think most people use a setup until pretty recently,
Good work getting
the
this
past like, couple years, few years.
That said, to ensure that sufficient power remains for core testing protocols, all safety devices have
And
been
this pair is
tested.
like a pretty old school player.
Consider respect your right to have questions or concerns about this policy.
For the most part, hasn't done full game runs for a fair while. At least not very many. Especially, yeah, at least not very many. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he has done some amount of speedrun mod. Yeah, he definitely has because he's been a PP's to it on speedrun.com. But yeah. Leaving his way through Wake Up. Looks like they're pretty much tied. Has his time up a bit behind Paris though, or a bit ahead of Paris, I think. Oh no, Paris is a significant amount ahead. Yeah. Paris like probably like 5 seconds ahead. I say a significant amount, I don't mean like a huge amount, just like enough, just that it can. I guess so. 1 second matters. Para having some issues at the beginning of Incinerator. Normally in the game, you don't have control when you're in that form. But in speedrun mode, you do. So you're actually able to strike yourself forward and angle yourself off those shoots. But the issue with that is sometimes if you mess up a little bit, you can just go flying off into the incinerator and just die. Just a decent amount of time. Spare had some issues with that, but still maintaining, I think, a pretty good lead over Hazza. I can't see it all, to be honest. I have no idea. Yeah, oh, actually, yeah, it's definitely got like 5 seconds still. Messing up the first fling on laser intro, sometimes this fling can be a bit painful. You just want to like go through that portal, but sometimes it just launches you low and you can't get in. It can be a bit annoying.
You should pace yourself, though. We have a lot of
Onto laser stairs. This is the most annoying map in the run. I think about it as too difficult, but the way this cube works, this cube is going to shoot a portal under, it's just the most annoying cube. It never does what you want.
I just finished building them before you
Like, I don't understand that map at all.
So now we'll
I hate it. I actually just hate it.
There should be one. Well done. Here come the test results. You are a horrible
Dual laser?
That's what it
Just the laser switch glitch as we talked
Don't
about
let
last
that
time.
horrible person thing discourage you. It's just a data point. If it makes you feel any better, science has now that Earth Mother's decision. Congratulations. Not on
My
the
god,
test.
I am so glad that I got water. I needed it. You can see Wetmaker again. This is a really hard start, Wetmaker. It's just hard.
Chambers faster than I can build them. So feel free to slow down.
You can see Para messes it up once.
Whatever it is you do when you're
It's actually just like a very hard strat. It's like the reportal's not hard, but throwing the cube, grabbing the cube, landing a good circle strafe, and landing the reportal.
Yes, you are listening to me. But for the record,
It's
you
all
don't have to go
when you
fast.
combine all the stuff that you need to do, it's very difficult. Oh, Para going for a backup where he does 2 cube hops. Oh, that's a sick backup, but he's still having issues. Hazza's gained like a huge lead at this point.
Test involves the aperture science
I say huge, I mean like Para had leads well larger than what Hazza has right now during the last run.
Subjects could solve problems when they were catapulted
Not
into
good to see.
Results were
Para.
highly informative.
He's deciding to Wetmaker Jr. here. Wetmaker
It's an
Jr.
interesting fact.
He says when you put the cube up,
To extend
you don't have to worry about throwing the cube and grabbing the cube, you just have to worry about doing the normal part of
See
Wetmaker.
what the next test
Okay, he's going
is.
back and just doing normal Wetmaker now.
Advanced area
Tries to make it.
defense.
Ooh, he does a cube hop to make it.
Soaring through the air without a
That cube hop there is really hard to do.
that was managed
The
by
cube hops generally are not too difficult to do. You just drop the cube and you grab it up. But on that particular jump, because you're doing it on this tiny little thin platform,
Sorry.
it's really hard to get the cube to, and then drop it and grab it before you're too far away.
Still trashing them.
Because you're moving so quickly, it's really hard to do.
Being useless. Try to avoid the garbage.
He's finally able to get through it.
Remember
Pero,
before when I was talking about smelly garbage standing around being useless?
one map behind, about a minute behind, I think.
People with guilty consciences are more easily started.
Probably a bit under, maybe a bit under a minute, I think. Wait, how much is it? I don't know how long it is in speedrun mode.
I don't know why that went off.
Exactly.
Anyway, just an interesting
I think it's about a
science
minute.
fact.
I think it's about a minute. No, maybe, I don't know.
Chamber is
He's a fair bit
equipped with
behind,
an
at least.
isolation grill and its exit, so that test subjects cannot.
Making his way through trust flings now. while Hazza's entered onto
Anticipation grills.
Fizzler intro.
Remember, I told you about them in the last test area that did not have one.
Pero's AFK. Oh, okay. I think Pero might be a bit tilted. I don't know. Something else could have just happened, I don't know, but Pero's clearly having a rough time this run. I wouldn't be surprised if he got tilted off
Look
that.
at you,
It's hard to say though.
flying through the air majestically.
Obviously don't want to speak for him
like
or
an
anything
eagle,
like that.
piloting a blimp.
Could just be that he, I don't know, got interfered with by something.
Enjoy this next test.
His
I'm
mouth
going
stopped
to go
working
to
or
the
something like that.
surface.
All
It's a
sorts of things that could have
beautiful
happened.
day out. Yesterday I saw a deer. If you solve this next test, maybe I'll let you ride an elevator all the way up to the break room. And I'll tell you about the time I saw a deer again.
Oh, her just bonking on the edge of the portals, on the edge of the portal there, so he doesn't actually go through. So this kind of mistakes that just like can really annoy you though, because you know exactly like how little of a mistake it is. You know it's like nothing. You can do like how do I make that mistake? How do I not? How do I just hold too much W? How is that a mistake that I make? You can feel really bad. He's going for the backup now, where you just fling across. Portal. Hazza having some issues on Ricochet, by the looks of it. Still. Actually, if he's still having issues on Ricochet, Para, this is a good opportunity for Para to catch back up right now. And yeah, looks like he's just made his way through at the 9-minute mark.
I didn't see the deer today.
9:10 into elevator. 9:10 into elevator.
With you here, I've got more tests up.
So we'll keep that in mind and we'll see what Para gets. Lands the backup there. So I mentioned panel pulling last time. That's the backup, where you fling up the faith plate, block yourself with the cube, and then grab the cube fork and start flying away. And all your velocity is eaten by the cube. If you grab it before it starts flying away, the velocity goes into nothing. So Para able to basically completely catch up right there on Ricochet. And it's looking like an even race. Looks like Hazza's a fair bit ahead, but it's actually not. That's just the in-game time proceeding. Yeah.
You're a predator.
Para went for the cube through glass again. The cube just, a lot of the times with this one, it just doesn't like to go on the button.
I figured out what to do with all the
You can like fling too hard, it can just not go. It can just do a bunch of things that just doesn't always go onto the button. And it's really hard to get it to consistently go it. Yeah, so Pero had issues with Bridge Gap last time. We'll see if he's gonna have the same issues this time. Presses it, and he hops over too far. So one of the things with this trick is if you hold W or you don't funnel down from, you get stuck traveling. What am I trying to say?
Good luck.
You get stuck going over the platform that you're supposed to hop on, which means you lose a lot of height. If you lose that much height, you just can't make it. So even though he flung higher there, it was actually really bad because he didn't get the hop, which gave him more height than flinging higher would have. However, Hazza's having huge amounts of issues here on turret intro. Pero makes it through first try though, pretty clean. I can't see where Hazza is. He's on a loading screen. Okay, he made it through at 11:02 onto the next map. Pero is ahead by about 10 seconds.
So you may be confused about the passage of time. The point is, yesterday was
It's
your
looking
first
pretty
day.
good for Pero right now.
I thought you'd want to know.
Lines up, does the laser switch glitch very quickly. Both players seem to get it pretty quickly.
That jumpsuit you're wearing looks
Although I
stupid.
think Pero playing well is a lot faster than Hazza playing.
On other people, it looks fine.
I think it's Pero making a lot of mistakes and going for strikes that potentially he shouldn't be because he's just not landing them.
That on you, it looks stupid. Well,
They're just giving Hazza a chance in this race, it feels like.
Know about fashion. He probably. Oh, wait. It's a shit. I'm going through the list of tests.
Well, that's not to say that Hazza's bad or anything. Like, he's a pretty good player, but
I have a surprise waiting for you after this next test. Telling you would spoil the surprise.
like, I mean, yeah, like Hazza's like a good player. Like, he beat me in a race.
Seen a long time.
The timers won't be adjusted to account for Para being ahead because it's in-game time difference that's causing it. So it's because the players are saving and loading different amounts, or plays loads at different times, different lengths. Because the timer is on without loads. It's that's where the difference is.
It says this next test was designed by one of Aperture's Nobel Prize winners. It doesn't say what the prize was for. Well, I know it wasn't for being immune to neurotoxin. I bet you think I forgot about your surprise. I didn't. In fact, we're headed to your surprise. I made it all up. Surprise. Oh, come on. If it makes you feel any better, they abandoned you at birth. So I very seriously
Sorry about that.
even want to
Just
see
had to
you.
stop for a few seconds. What are we at? We're at column blocker for both of them. Pero is looking to be ahead by 20 seconds-ish? Yeah, I want to say about 20 seconds. No, maybe less. 15? At least 20, at least 15 seconds, maybe 20. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to see, man. This time of difference is it's confusing.
And you have been asleep for a while, so I guess it's actually pretty funny when you do the math.
Ooh. Yeah, okay, Farah is able to make that work. Sometimes you can have some issues with the laser lining up either too far to the left or too far to the right. And he's able to land it pretty much
And
perfectly.
I came up with a solution that I honestly think.
Ooh, and I lost my sound. Farah is...
Federal regulations require.
God, it's so weird not being able to see at least exactly where Hazza is. It's so hard to give comparisons on time or make any kind of real commentary on the runs. When you can't see where Hazza is, let alone what his time is at compared to Para.
Not a fake tragic surprise like last time.
Like, he just jumped from the side of the level halfway in.
Real.
It's so hard. Oh, man.
Real surprise with tragic consequences. What's going
I think
on?
it's gonna be a pretty big upset if Hazza wins. Like a very big upset, I would imagine. Like, I would have not thought Hazza would have remotely as good a chance as he's been showing, but he's making it work, so making it close at the very least. Yeah, it looks like he's a lot further behind now, maybe 30 seconds, but once again, this happened last run. He got to, like, I think over a minute behind at certain points. He has kept on having issues on Para's end, but just gave Hazza a really good chance to the run, and yeah, you can see, like, if Para makes these, like, ooh, Hazza's also having issues right now, though, it looks like. I can't see for sure. Wait, is he? No, I can't. I have no idea what's going on with Hazza's end, though. I'm just gonna ignore it. It doesn't exist. Alright, we're watching Para play Portal 2. Welcome to Para's live. Para. Okay. I can't talk when it's over.
Ah, brilliant! You made it. Okay, follow me. We've still got work to do.
Moving his way through Turret Factory. Hazza's at the beginning of Turret Factory.
Start down here.
20. I can't compare the times. It's impossible.
Absolutely crazy.
Para seems up on top of the railing as opposed to going across the conveyor belt there.
All of them robots.
Mainly a difference in preference. Depending on what cycle you get, it can be faster to go for one or the other. How quick you go before then determines where the things that block you come from. And if you're going at certain speeds, it'll either be faster to go on the conveyor belt, or it'll be faster to go against along the top there on the railing. Thanks a lot of luck against it. I don't know if I'm gonna win that though. He's a lot better than me right now.
I'll tell you.
There's not much race to commentate right now. It's basically just Pero running, so I feel like I'm pretty okay with interacting with you guys to a reasonable degree.
Right. Well, I'm gonna stick this well.
Turret redemption line.
Ooh, Pero missing the first cycle. It's not a huge deal. Normally, what matters in normal runs, in full game runs, when you miss a cycle of these effective turrets, is you'll have issues that you can either get a white turret next, it's a 50% chance, or you can get bad dialogue as well, so you can lose a lot more time, but that's RNG is obviously completely removed from speedrun mode. Yeah, Pero doesn't go for pancake shot. I guess he doesn't see it as worth it, or he hasn't learned it, he doesn't bother with it. Which I don't blame him. It's not really a huge amount of time in speedrun mode. It's only a tiny bit. It's like, in fact, for the way most people do pancake, where they do it like pretty slowly for their lineup, I think it might be faster to do. Intended, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, was there any sort of announcement before it opened, like a buzzer or an alarm, a hacker alert? I mean, you know.
For those who don't know, there's a scene shot you can do through the top of the door there called pancake shot.
Bring your daughter to work day. That did not end well. And 40 potato batteries. Embarrassing.
Moving his way
I mean,
through New
okay,
York
children,
sabotage now.
still, you know.
Movement matters a lot more on this map than it normally does, which is one of the interesting changes between full game and speedrun mode. On the ones not so like clear, because there's Cal's just added a bunch more panels that go across. It makes it
This is the neurotoxin generator.
your movement matter a lot more, because normally you'll just get locked into whatever cycle your movement's good enough for, and it'll be really hard to get a better cycle by a significant amount, or a worse cycle, or it won't be hard to get a worse cycle, but you're gonna have to worry about going omega fast. You also have to go fast enough to make whatever cycle you think you can make. But in this mod, obviously, it's a lot more important to go as fast as you can, no matter what, because there's no cycle for you to go for. You just kind of have to go. Pero able to hop across the panel there and make his way to the button. Because we're down into underground. He's got a significant lead at this point now. But he had this before in last run as well, and he was able to have some unfortunate mistakes happen. Have Hazza play reasonably well, and got to catch up from that. It seems to be like the... Yeah, if Pero just doesn't... Okay, I was gonna say, I'm really dumb. I'm gonna think of a better way to say that, I promise. I'm just going to think about that for a second. If Pero doesn't reattempt a lot of tricks like a bunch of times and just lose a bunch of time like that, I think he should win the race pretty cleanly. But he just keeps on going for these strats that he doesn't seem quite comfortable enough in going. Like he hasn't practiced enough, or he just hasn't been playing enough recently to be good with going for, and he seems to be having that happen just losing runs, or losing a lot of time to these just making the same mistakes. Like saw this on Laser Over Goo. Happened a few times in the last run as well, where he just lost a lot of time. Nearly having some issues. Getting the shot. Oh! His portals just fizzled the entire way down there. So he messed up the portal stand and he had to shoot a portal to save himself. And he had two portals in the same wall basically, and then he got screwed over by the game out in... Yeah, he got screwed over by the game not letting his portals land once he landed the shot that he needed to. It's really unfortunate. He nearly clutched it up and made it work, so it's really sad to see it fail like that. Looks like he got a pretty... Might have still saved time over Hazza there. Yeah, Hazza messed up the reportal, so he's going through doing normal strats. The reason that you go for that reportal, even though it's relatively difficult, is because it's a lot faster than going around doing all this movement in the second section of the map that you normally skip over. Hero going for the cube flip again. Ooh, nearly gets it. He was very close there. That's when you see your head clip through the top of the ceiling there, and peek through. You're, I don't know how far off, but like you're a tiny bit, I think, late on your jump when that happens. I don't remember if it was late or early. I just do what I feel when I do it. I don't actually think about it. I haven't thought about it for a while. But I think that's late. Yeah, it should be.
Experimental genes and RNA molecules and set out a folding chair in the lobby and weren't wearing lead underpants. We took care of that too. Gel, here's some advice the lab boys gave me. Do not get covered in the repulsion gel. We haven't. All these science spheres are made of asbestos, by the way. Keeps out the rats. Let us know if you feel a shortness of breath, a persistent dry cough, or your heart stopping.
Okay. Here's something to know if you're a player. If you can do what PerOculos did, where he strafed over the... you know what, I can't be bothered to work out how to best word this in a way that actually makes sense. I'm just not going to say it, actually, never mind. I was gonna say that what PerO did, that was... PerO did like a very optimal thing. It's an optimization that I see a lot of people go for, and then never land, and end up just going back for a strat that's slower than doing it the normal way.
About the size of a postcard into your skull. Most likely you've forgotten it's even there. But if it starts vibrating and beeping during this next test, let us know. Because that means it's about to hit 500 degrees.
Hazza having a lot of issues on Crazy Box though. Just not able to land the portals that he needs to. By the sounds of it. I mean, I can't see obviously, but I'm hearing a lot of failed portal sounds. Oh, PerO keeps on doing this where he loads. He did this on this map exactly. On Potatoes here last time. I don't know why he wants to load a save when he walks through that portal on this flat surface here. Like, you should actually just want to go through it. But he does it fine this time. So he's good moving forward onto prop intro.
There will always be a limo waiting for you. Greetings, friend. I'm Cave Johnson, CEO of Aperture Science. You might know us as a vital participant in the...
Makes his way over to the end of the level.
The testing area is just up ahead.
Finishes up prop intro nicely and onto prop flings. Looks like PerO's in a good position for this run as well to win it. But we saw pretty much this exact same position last time, where throughout the entire run he was ahead. I guess this time he has been behind to some degree at some points, but still. He's opting. So that's a thing that's very bad from PerO. Instead of loading back before he dies there, he's opting to just die, which might be a single segment muscle memory when this game, a while ago now, like I want to say like a year and a half ago maybe? At least a year ago. From then back, it was a single segment, which means you can't load saves ever. We allowed dying though, so that might be just like him not acting accordingly to rule changes in relatively recent history. I say relatively recent because once again, PerO is like an old school player. Like he played for a long time. I don't think he's been particularly active since these changes. I know he's been doing a lot of like least portals, and he hasn't played ages, but he's just having a lot of issues here now. Is Hazza ahead? I think Hazza's ahead by a lot now, actually. Yeah, Hazza's ahead by a lot, if that's the room that I think it is.
buy $7 worth of moon rocks, much less 70 million.
Pero finally making his way through bomb flames.
Mix them into a gel.
Yeah, Hazza's ahead by a lot. Oh yeah,
Don't make lemonade.
Hazza's in a very good position now.
Take the lemons back. Get mad.
He's at the second section of conversion intro, the map that Pero's just entered. His timer is about 30 seconds ahead, so he's actually not too far ahead. But it's definitely a good margin ahead. He's definitely like a good amount. Probably like 30 seconds in actual time. What's he doing? Pero, okay, stop going. Pero! No, Pero! No! Oh. Stop that! Oh, he just keeps on going for these like meme straps, man. Like, Pero, not like this. Not like this, man. Hazza making his way through 3 gels at least at some point. I don't know where he's at right now, but he was on 3 gels at some point. Because that's what I can see. We're having some issues on the read portal as well towards the end of conversion. He's just not landing it. He's just not getting it. He's having. Oh no, he messes up! Is he gonna go for the normal backup? Yeah, okay, he's going for the normal backup. Meanwhile, Hazza's up there finishing off 3 gels now. On the tube bounce and everything. And Pero's still not even onto 3 gels. There is still a timer differential to account for, where Pero is a good amount ahead in game time. Like a good, not ahead, but his time is a good amount behind Hazza's, I guess. Is the way to say that. Yeah, but Hazza's still very much ahead by like a very good margin. Like, I don't know, I think there's like a 30-second difference. Let's see for sure. So there's a 45-second difference. Okay, 45-second difference. This map takes like a minute, a bit over, so let's say a minute to complete. Okay, is that only 50 seconds difference? Seriously? Maybe it is. I think it's a bit more than that, but I know it's a bit over a minute, so like. I don't remember how long 3 gels is in Speedrun mod.
All the time.
I don't remember how long things are in 3 gels in Speedrun mod yet. I haven't played it enough yet.
Hardwired into the system or something. Oh, but I tell you, when I do design this test myself.
Welcome, everyone over from SpeedGaming 3. I don't know what you were just watching, but welcome to Portal 2 Speedrun mod. We're watching a race between
Here's an idea.
2 frozen screens right now. This is, I'm hoping that issues on my end. Hazza's been having FPS issues the entire run.
Yes, listen test to it.
Pero's, apparently new.
It's alright. Everything's
Huh.
good. I just invented
This
some
is
more
good.
tests. Not entirely. Not entirely.
I don't really know what to talk about because we're staring at a frozen screen and the screen is getting a frame every 30 seconds.
Entirely. Look at the word test there on the wall. Not entirely. Not entirely. Look at the word
30 seconds per frame, Jesus.
Not entirely.
Yeah.
Not entirely.
So welcome everyone. Welcome to not watching anything apparently. I'm just gonna talk to you guys, I guess. I don't know what else I can do.
Why don't you two go on?
Oh no. Not like this. Oh, okay.
Yes. Well
Fair game.
done.
That's why the stream stopped. Okay. So, huh. Okay. So, Hazza wins. Yeah, I guess Pero decided that the run wasn't good enough to be bothered continuing.
Don't start yet.
I'll try and let Hazza know about this if I can.
Hundreds of perfectly good test chambers just sitting there. Let's get into
So yeah, that's a win for Hazza. pretty big upset, I guess. It's really unfortunate for Pero. The first race, he had a few things that just went unlucky. Second race, he probably still could have won that race, honestly, if he played well through the rest of the run, but deciding to give up on it. That's unfortunate. What can I do here? I find... I don't know if I can communicate to Hazza at all. I'm trying a few different methods here. I'm gonna try and get him. I think I just end stream here. I'll see if Hazza wants to have an interview. I don't know if he will. We'll see what he's typing. He's messaging right now. Yeah, this is an unfortunate ending, I guess. I guess it just happens sometimes, though. Okay, well, we're gonna leave without an interview. Yeah, this is a bit of a disappointment, especially to those who came from SpeedGaming 3. Sorry for this, guys. But yeah, not much we can really do about it. If you guys want to see Portal 2 stuff, actually, this might not even be on anymore. I was gonna say go check out ESA. There's a run right there, over there right now, but I think it's just wrapping up now. So if you guys want to see the end of the run, I guess you can hop over there. I don't mind it's over. Yeah, that's it then. Sorry about this, guys.